Hi, welcome to your next challenge in the Edabit Easy category series. This one's called Phone Number Formatting. Create a function that takes an array of 10 numbers between 0 and 9 and returns a string of those numbers formatted as a phone number. I give an example here with all fives. And a few more examples below. Notice they just cycled through the numbers here, 1, 2, 9, and then back to 0. And they show you the traditional format you see for phone numbers, put the area code in parentheses. They see here in the notes, don't forget the space after the closing parenthesis. So we definitely want that. It'd be natural, I think, to omit that, if you're writing out a phone number, but for their specification, they said they want that space there, and that's what they'll get. And then check out these other numbers if that's still unclear. I think we're good though. Most people should be familiar with this format. So we'll go into the coding section. This is your chance to solve the problem. Please pause the video and give it an honest attempt, and hopefully you come up with something good. I'll go into my solution. I'm going to leverage the link library for this using system link. Okay, and link has some really nice methods for getting the numbers out of this array. So we got this. You know what we could do to be safe, because I am paranoid. We could say if numbers dot length is not equal to 10, that's what we're expecting, return error. As usual, this is my oversimplified way of handling error conditions. You'd normally do something better than this, but this is me saying, hey, do some parameter checking and deal with it however you like. Okay, so that's out of the way. We've got an integer size 10 filled with the numbers. We got to make a phone number out of it. So for that, I'm going to say, we're going to introduce another concept here too. We're going to use the var keyword, which is, you can think of it short for variable. We're saying we're declaring a variable, but we're not specifying the type. We're going to let the compiler infer the type from the other data in the statement. So I'm going to call this area code values. I want to take the first three numbers out of this collection, and those, because those represent the area code. So we're going to say numbers, and then there's this handy link method for enumerables. An array is an enumerable, and it's called take. And I'm going to say take 3. I want to take 3 numbers, and it starts from the beginning. So the first 3 numbers is what this represents. And if you want more information on that, please go to the Microsoft Docs. Take here returns a specified number of contiguous elements from the start of a sequence. That's exactly what we want. There you see it in the link namespace. That's why I brought that in. We're good there. They have some nice examples. This is my favorite part. This is often, for me, faster to understand what's going on than reading all the comments. But yeah, that's a nice example. They did some ordering before their take, but you can see how take 3 after order would give you the top 3, and then they print those out. So that gives a pretty good idea, right? Very nice take. And other thing to note, let's see. Returns, there you go. Returns an IEnumerable. So of t source, in our case we're dealing with integers, right? So it would return an IEnumerable of integers. That t source is just a generic placeholder, if you will. So really we could have written this out as IEnumerable of integer instead of just var. So the var is kind of nice here, right? It's a lot less typing. If for some reason we changed the collection type, you wouldn't have to edit this at all. So that's kind of nice if you use some other kind of collection. There's parts of your code that can stay preserved. I don't like, you could think, use this everywhere, right? Use it for int, strings, use it all over the place. I find it to be less expressive, so I don't use it everywhere. I probably use it less than I should. I like things written out so I can see, and if I have to change them, I'll change them. But, you know, your mileage may vary. It is a feature, and now you're aware of it. So, before we fully solve this problem, I'm just going to put in a statement here so you can get some confidence on what's going on. Let's call it area code 0. And let's put, one step before this. Let's convert this into a string. So now we've got this collection of 3 numbers. Let's make it a string that we'll call area code. And we have another really nice method on the string class called join. And it allows you to pass it an enumerable and just sort of stuff all the values together and convert them into a string. In my case, I don't want any kind of value or punctuation inserted with it, so I'm just going to leave an empty string there. And then I give it the collection, this area code values. So this, and then I can, for my statement, print out the area code. And I just wanted to show you that this was working first to try and build some confidence in this. You may also go to C# join, string join, if you want to see more about how this works. Looks like we need system for that. But yeah, same deal. Read the docs. System. Okay. So let's run this. It's going to be wrong, but let's make sure that we're getting what we want in that area code value. And good, we are. Area code 123. That was the expected 123. So that's doing what we wanted it to do. Very good. Now the next step is to do this with the remaining parts of the phone number. And so, yeah, I wanted to break the number up that way, get each of the sections for the numbers, and then sort of add the punctuation that they want in at the end, package it up, and return that result. So I didn't know what the other parts of the phone number were called, so I looked that up. Area code we have. Apparently this part's called the exchange code, and this part's called the line number. So I'm going to name my variables that way to make it clear. So let's carry on. I could do var exchange code values equals numbers. Now this one's a little bit different, right? We can't start from the beginning. So what do? Link to the rescue. We're going to skip the first 3 numbers and then take 3. If you would like information on skip, go ahead and check it out. Bypasses a specified number of elements in a sequence and then returns the remaining elements. Perfect. Again, feel free to check through the examples and read the text. So we're skipping. Had we not taken 3, I think it would have just given us the numbers, all of the numbers after the first 3. So I'm saying take only 3 after that. You can, if you hadn't noticed this before, you can chain methods together like this, and you can keep chaining them, and that's very convenient. So if you want, feel free to write another console statement and check that exchange code values is coming out right if you want. And then var line number values would be numbers. Try this one. What do you think this one would be? How about numbers skip 6? If we skip the area code and the exchange code, and it'll give us the remaining values, right? That's what the skip method told us in the document. So it'll just give us to the end of the numbers, right? Whatever's left in there, which should be 4 numbers. And then I'm going to remove this. We could say string exchange code. Whoa. There we go. Little string join, empty string, and then exchange code values. Similarly, for the line number, string join, oops, line number values. Now, this is handy, right? We have the 3 pieces we want, and now we sort of just build the formatting around it. So, we know that it starts with an open parenthesis. Let's do that. Let's concatenate the area code. Let's close and add that space. Remember their notes, I said add a space. Then we can go into the exchange code. Then we want a hyphen. And then we wanted the line number. And I think that's the format they wanted. Yeah, let's give it a check. Nice. So yeah, there's a winner. And these skip and take were just great here. You could have made a loop, gone over all the values, right? You could have said if you're at, imagine setting up an index variable I. If I equals 0, start building a string with an open parenthesis, add numbers at index 0, go to the next iteration of the loop, you're on index 1, take numbers 1, go to the next iteration, you're at I equals 2, take numbers 2, after that, add the closing parenthesis and space, and etc. You keep building the string that way, and adding little conditional statements if you're at certain points in the iteration process. At certain index values, you're adding extra characters, extra punctuation characters. And, you can do it that way. Much less pleasant in my opinion. I like this one. It's very nice to read. I think it's just winning all the way. But anyway, I like this one too because of some new concepts. The var, the new method, string join is really cool. Feel free to use string join when you need to separate things by commas or whatever. So hopefully you found that helpful. Please hit me up with your solutions and any questions you may have. Thanks for watching.